live on Facebook.
Okay, here we go. Hello, welcome to another edition of Get Real with Real Estate here on Classic Hits K-Wing 106 on this Saturday morning. Action Jack Quibble with you, along with Jameson Melby from RE/MAX Results. Good morning, Jameson. How are you?
Excellent, Jack. How are you doing, sir?
Very well. Yep, we're into the latter stages of the month of August and this crazy year of 2020.
Dude, we're knocking 2020 out of the park, are we not?
That's right. And the sooner the better. So we'll get rolling on our show here today and talk some real estate. Now let's get going on some tips on how to sell my house fast and for top dollar. Folks, if you're wondering about that, the guy to my right, he can fill you in. Jameson?
Well, yeah, we certainly don't want to sell it slow and for bottom dollar, right?
No, you want to do the exact opposite.
That's what happens when you overprice your house and you don't have it in good condition. That's the end result. So if you want to sell it fast and for top dollar, what we want to do is look at the comparable properties and price it aggressive. It does not make sense to price it too high because what ends up happening is you'll have price reduction, you'll get one offer on the house. Versus if you price it aggressive, you can have multiple offers and have the two best bidders or the two best buyers bidding against each other and ratcheting that price up similar to an auction. And then after that, it's having your house in immaculate condition. The cleaner it is, the better shape it is, the higher offer you will get. Because people, even if you have some wild paint colors and they think, well, I'm going to have to paint this, it's perceived value. It's not going to cost thousands of dollars to have painted, but they will take thousands of dollars off of their offer amount if they think they have to do that work. So have it in the best shape you can, price it aggressive. That's the best way to sell it fast and for top dollar.
There we go. And now, Jameson, I've heard it mentioned you have a few commission packages, and how much would they run?
Well, it's one of those things. I set this up intentionally to have you call me and have me meet you in person.
Marketing 101.
Exactly. I can't answer that question on the air, but when I meet with you, I go over what my plans are, the thought process behind the plans, because there's not a one-size-fits-all in real estate. So I think that people appreciate having options in what they pay. Some people want a lot, some people don't. So.
Now, if I pick a package with staging, now we've talked about staging before, but I think not in a while. So what will the stager do?
So what I cover with a stager is a staging assessment. So they will come to your house, talk to you, take a look around. They take pictures of every room. These are not the marketing photos. They're just for their purposes. And then they send you a punch list, room by room, of what you can do to make the house appeal to more people. So largely what it is decluttering, moving around furniture, making the room look as big as possible and as clean as possible. And then they are available if you want to hire them for physical staging. So maybe you're not this is a second home, you're not local to the area, or you have some health issues that kind of prevent you from doing this. You can hire them independently and they will physically stage for you and even bring in furniture if you have a vacant house. So pretty good stuff there with the stagers.
Indeed. Closing out part one of Get Real with Real Estate with this one. Now, what are my options if my home isn't quite up to par, but I still want to sell it? I would imagine some people do fall into this category.
Right. We can look at the options. It really depends on what it is. What it is going on with the house, but you can sell the house just the way it is, and typically you're not going to get much of a return doing work to the house. Now that all is situation dependent. If it's deferred maintenance, if it's wild colors like I mentioned, anything. So what I always suggest is have a realtor, preferably myself, out to your house and we can take a look at it and give you good advice on things you should do, shouldn't do. And the point I want to make is that most people are pretty surprised. They think they have a lot of things they have to do, and they're pretty surprised to find out that that's not always the case.
All right, Jameson, good stuff. Part two on the way, okay, partner?
All right,
Jameson Melby with RE/MAX Results. Action Jack Quibble here on Classic Hits, K-Wing 106. It's Get Real with Real Estate. We're back with more in just a moment.
All right, guys, if you're watching this on Facebook, well, actually, we're taking a break, so if you're hearing this, you are watching it on Facebook. If you can give it a like, a share, a comment, something like that. That helps us with the Facebook algorithm. Reach more people.
There we go.
All about reach.
Reach is indeed the buzzword.
Right.
It's in vogue. All right, part 2. Here we go.
All right.
We are back, part 2 of Get Real with Real Estate here on Classic Hits K-Wing 106. Jack Caldwell joined by Jamison Melby from RE/MAX Results. And in part 2 of our show, Jamison, now you've mentioned interviewing more than one agent. So tell us why that's important.
Well, there's a few ways you can look at it. One is that we all have different personalities, right? Some of us are, very analytical. Some aren't. Some are serious. Some like to have fun. So I would say the biggest thing is picking somebody that you think you'll get along with and somebody you'll trust. There's been times I've got up and left appointments because the person does not trust me. They're and they're throwing, accusations out there about the industry. And I'm like, you know what? I want to make sure, number one, that we can get along and that we're going to trust each other in this process. That's huge. And then another thing is not just experience, but I would say relevant experience. I've been doing this now since 2007. It's kind of funny that now I am that experienced agent. But what I would tell people before when I wasn't as experienced is, how many houses are you selling today? That's big, because if somebody's been in the business 30 years, real estate has evolved. I mean, think about technology. Real estate has evolved incredibly in the last 30 years. And if somebody is not relevant in what is going on in today's real estate market, the way to reach buyers in today's market is very different than it was, even 10 years ago when I started. So there's so many reasons that you want to interview more than one agent. And if you're going to interview more than one agent, you might as well interview the guy who's with RE/MAX Results in Red Wing named Jamison Melby.
There we go. Al, when you were talking about that Janet Jackson song popped into my head. What have you done for me lately?
Okay. I wasn't sure which one you were talking about, Jack.
Somehow we put Janet Jackson and Get Real with Real Estate here in the show. But
all right.
This is K-Wing 106, so it is our demo as far as music is concerned.
Yeah.
So.
And we have fun on the show, so
Yes,
that's what we do.
That we certainly do. So. Tell you the time I saw the Janet Jackson concert a couple of years ago. So anyway, that's a whole different show. So anyways, well, Jamison, let's talk about like it or leave it. Hopefully it's not a relationship. So what is this?
Like it or leave it. So, one thing that's kind of scary when you're entering into a contract is it is a legally binding contract. And I've heard some local agents that, if somebody wants to cancel, they will make them ride out that 6-month contract, that 1-year contract, whatever it is. They'll make them stick that time frame out because they might be upset that somebody is canceling or whatever the reason is. And the way I look at it is that if I'm not doing my job and if you want to fire me, I'm going to let you out of the contract today. So if things aren't working out, so that's why I say like it or leave it. If you like the process, let's continue on. If you don't, we'll sign a cancellation of mutual release. I'm not going to charge you a cancellation fee, which is what some agents do. They make you pay these fees. And I look at it that we're performance based and we're customer service based. So if I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do and I'm not providing results for you, fire me. That's fine.
All right, there we go.
That's the like it or leave it.
I was going to say, what have you done for me lately? Well, there's an example right there.
Right.
One of the reasons why, and it leads us into our next one, why should I hire Jamison Melby to sell my home?
Well, aside from the fact that I have stone cold killer looks, right? No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. I'm a fun guy that sells a lot of real estate. I just said fun guy. That sounded like mushrooms, did it not? I am a fun individual.
Yes.
Who sells real estate at a high level, and that's what somebody wants.
Well, that's the thing. You have to. If you're not enjoying what you're doing, you're probably not in the right profession. We've been doing this show for a couple of years plus now, and I can tell you have a genuine passion for it. That's a key.
Yeah, and and like I said, who's selling real estate now? Technology is so different. The way you position houses, there's a lot of strategies to it if you want to get the most bang for your buck. I feel like I'm the best person to do the job for you.
There we go. Confidence is definitely a good thing.
Right,
You need confidence.
You don't want somebody that says, I think I can do it.
Right. Yeah, I think I can. Well, you have to know that you can. That's
right.
certainly huge. And finally, what website is best for looking at homes online.
All right, shameless plug right now. Let's just plug JamesonMelby.com. And the thing is, and I always say this, I'll plug my own website first, but any broker website will do. Any broker website is going to be leaps and bounds better than Zillow, Realtor.com, Trulia. Search broker websites, way better. And the thing is, it's accurate data. You're not going to find a house on a real estate broker website that closed a month ago or has never even been for sale. We have data, standards that we have to follow. Those other websites do not. If you want accurate data, search broker websites and JamesonMelby.com.
All right, for the very, very latest. For more information, what do folks need to do?
All right, so if you're listening on the radio, you can find me on Facebook at Jameson Melby Real Estate. Type that in. You can watch prior radio shows, other good information on there. And you can find me on the web at JamesonMelby.com. And as always, call or text 651-764-8933.
Fabulous, Jameson. You have a great weekend. We'll do this again next week.
Sounds good. You too, Jack.
All right. For Jameson Melby with RE/MAX Results, Action Jack Cobble here on Classic Hits K-Wing 106. That's our show, this week's edition of Get Real with Real Estate. Have a great weekend. We'll see you again next week.
All right, guys. Remember, give it a share.